Mi mujer hacen yoga, 1, 2, 3, de mix purple with the soda. Mix it, a ella le gusta la moto. Son flaquita, pero con la nalga gorda.
What's going on, fans? This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing. From request, subscribe. Let's speak boxing. What do we want to speak about? We're going to speak to Julio Cesar Chavez versus Canelo Alvarez fight this past weekend. Yes, I didn't go to the little MGM, George Boxing Jr.'s house. I actually caught the fight, though. But, at the last minute, we spoke. We were just like, we're not going to watch that shitty-ass fight. We always talk boxing. We always watch boxing every single weekend and stuff like that. Or even the biggest post-fight, the biggest fights out there just in general. And, we agreed that, George Boxing Jr. said he didn't want to watch this shit. He thought it was going to be a shitty fight as predicted. But the last 24 hours after the weigh-in and stuff like that, you had Clyde. And we're just boxing fans, so they ended up just catching the fight at the last moment, just to watch it itself. But as predicted, everyone knew that Canelo was setting up the fight. Even George even said it. George Boxing Jr. said that this is all a gimmick. He just wanted to see how he carries the weight, how he's able to dominate, and then from there, if Canelo looks good at the weight, he looks strong. It's just a test for him. He's going to line up. De La Hoya is going to go ahead and line up the Triple G fight, and that's exactly what happened. But I'm going to go and touch bases on this fight and see exactly, get some feedback from you guys. I know it's been some time since I created a video and stuff like that, but I've been completely busy. But, I keep saying it, but I definitely want to get in the swing of things. But I'm still covering the boxing. I'm always going to be a boxing fan. Here at SBM Boxing, that's all we do. You got myself, Waki, said George the Boxing Genius, Clyde the Godfather, Angel Chino Sanchez, the Steven Suave Tate, just a bunch of us. We all get together and we talk boxing. Even though we don't create videos, we always discuss boxing. We watch the boxing fights, and even, from time to time, we'll sit there and discuss over the phone. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the fight. The Canelo versus Julio Cesar Chavez fight. The Chavez fight, as predicted, I predicted that Canelo was going to completely dominate. I don't know what everyone was caught up in the hype for. And just because of the different variables that were taken under consideration, a lot of people completely overlooked. But Canelo dominated against Chavez. Unanimous decision, all judges' scorecards was completely clean sweep in Canelo's favor. So he improved his record to 49-1. That one from the Mayweather fight. It was a straight sparring session. Canelo didn't even have a stool. He basically told Max Kellerman himself, hey, I didn't even want to sit down. Why? Because I felt good. And during sparring, I don't sit down. But, I didn't feel any time that I needed to sit down and breathe. So at that moment, I told my team that, what, I'm not going to go ahead and sit down unless I have to. It's just basically showboating and let everyone know that he's ready. And obviously, the confetti and the music came on, and as soon as he said, hey, Gennady, you're next, my friend, that was all planned. It was plotted and stuff like that. Like I said, he pitched a complete shutout on this whole entire fight. He was in completely control of the whole entire pace of the fight as well. He was able to throw and connect whenever he wanted to. He completely dominated the fight, but he could have dominated the fight even in a more impressive fashion. But if he would have put a higher punch foot, he would have definitely pressed more and more and made Chavez look more silly than he really did, then you would have a little bit more upset fans. So, at times, he was pulling back. He was putting his back on the ropes, and draw on the fight just to make it a little bit exciting. But he knew Chavez was already done. His jab was completely quick and explosive. It kept Chavez away, kept the distance. And just, even when Canelo lured him into the ropes, Chavez couldn't even really do anything. I think Chavez threw like 300 punches in that. His punch output was definitely not there. I think he was done before the fight even started. He looked completely drained from cutting weight. What do I mean by that? Kenny, stop making excuses. Look, I'm not making excuses. It's fucking facts. It is. If I don't turn on the TV and just watch the biggest and baddest fights out there and shit like that. I follow people's careers. I just watch boxing in general. So when people get caught up, Chavez and his dad, Chavez is a beast, Chavez only has 2 or 3 losses, whatever the case may be, that's all bullshit, man. You got to look at the different situations. You got to see the scenario. You got to see how it all played out. He looked completely drained, cutting the weight. He didn't even look good his last 3 fights, which one of them he got stopped in, which was at a catch weight, I think 172 pounds or something like that, which he still considered himself like a super middleweight, but he still he hasn't fought in that weight. I don't even know, man, years and years ago. But the last couple fights, he fought at 175. So all in all, he did have to cut short with Cat. He even said it himself. He laughed, and he wasn't ready for that fight. But am I discrediting Canelo? No, absolutely not. Was I impressed with Canelo? I've always been a Canelo fan, and I do agree that he's improving. His experience is definitely there, and I'm noticing that he's carrying his weight really, really well. He looks strong. He looks quick. His endurance has gotten a lot better, and his ring generalship and his boxing IQ looks sharp. He looks experienced now. You know what I'm saying? You can see he's thinking in there. He's setting shit up and stuff like that. So the experience is getting caught in. Even when he steps into the ring, even when his walk, he doesn't look so nervous. He can take in the crowd. He takes in the media days. He takes in all these fans and stuff like that, because it's intimidating if you've never fought.